So we would like to move on to the second panel discussion. And wow, guess who we have on this panel? I wouldn't want to do the introduction, so I would allow the moderator to do that. Joining me on stage, we have a Vice President, Institutional Advancement, Academic City. With a round of applause, Dr. Lucy Ajepong.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, you've eaten and everybody is full. Good afternoon, everyone. And hasn't it been an exciting number of days? Who has been inspired? Let me see by hands. Give yourselves a round of applause. And as has been said, we are discovering, we are connecting, and we are transforming. Fantastic. So we're going to move on very quickly to our next panel discussion. And it's still going to be on the same theme. So just before we started, I was like, now we're talking about innovation. So let me just go to one of these chat boxes and ask it, when we say new paradigms in healthcare technology, what does it really mean? When we say new paradigms in healthcare technology, what does it mean? And it says it means a major shift in how healthcare is understood, how it's delivered, and how it's improved through technology. So what we're going to do in this panel discussion is that we're going to come at it from all those different angles. I'm going to have a representative from regulator here. I'm going to have a medical practitioner on the stage with me. I'm going to have an entrepreneur working in the field on the stage with me as well. And last but not the least, I'll also have someone in education leadership so that we touch it from all those different angles. So I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce my panelists to the stage. And I'll start off with Dr. Thelma Asare. So I'll introduce her briefly and then she'll take her seat. Please, yes. So Dr. Thelma Asare Dr. Thelma Asare is a dedicated medical practitioner and advocate for women's health, currently leading initiatives at Women Care. With years of experience in obstetrics and gynecology, she is passionate about improving maternal health outcomes and empowering women with knowledge about their bodies and their well-being. Dr. Asare's approach combines compassion with evidence-based medical practice, making her a trusted voice in women's healthcare and a strong proponent of gender-sensitive medical services in Ghana. Please give it up for her one more time. So now let me go to a regulator. Let's bring a regulator into the mix. And I'd like to invite to the stage Mr. Francis Boateng. Yeah, I got it right. Fantastic. Give it up for him, please. So Mr. Francis Boateng is the dedicated and result-oriented metrologist and mathematician with over 13 years of professional experience at the Ghana Standards Authority in the metrology division. His expertise spans legal, scientific, and industrial metrology with a strong focus on calibration systems, development, measurement, standardization, and traceability to international system units. He is deeply passionate about researching and developing measurement systems that enhance accuracy and reliability of industrial and scientific processes. Francis has contributed to numerous calibration programs, training workshops, and the mentoring of junior officers, strengthening Ghana's measurement infrastructure. Please give it up for him one more time. Let's throw another woman in the mix, yeah? And I'd like to invite to the stage my own student, or my former student, and an entrepreneur, Miss Andrula Techi. Needless to say, when she was here, she won Best Woman in Engineering Award, right? So Andrula Techi is an innovative co-founder of Goliath Robotics, a Ghanaian tech startup driving advancements in automation and robotics. With a strong background in engineering and entrepreneurship, she is passionate about using technology to solve real-world challenges in manufacturing, healthcare, education, and the likes. Her leadership at Goliath Robotics reflects a forward-thinking vision to position Africa as a key player in the global robotics ecosystem, while inspiring young innovators, especially women, to pursue careers in STEM. Please give it up for her. And last but certainly not the least, my education leadership. I'd like to invite Dr. Richard Dozier to the stage. Dr. Richard. And Dr. Richard, if you can take that last seat at the end there for me. Dr. Harold Richard Dozier is an accomplished academic and researcher with extensive expertise in science, technology, and higher education leadership. Known for his strategic vision and passion for innovation-driven education, he has contributed significantly to curriculum development, research advancement, and institutional capacity building in various academic settings. Dr. Dozier's scholarly work reflects a deep commitment to bridging the gap between academia and industry, fostering practical solutions to societal challenges. His leadership style is characterized by mentorship, excellence, and a forward-looking approach that empowers students and colleagues alike to thrive in the ever-evolving global landscape. Give a round of applause for him. So I will take my seat and then we will start the whole discussion. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. How has it been so far?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay, so we'll start off with a little bit of an introducer. I've given them a brief, but I want to hear from them, hear from yourself, a little bit about you and your understanding of the theme that we are here to talk about. And I'll start with Dr. Thelma.
I have been coming to Ghana off and on for many years, doing my own little bit to try and help people. I'm not sure that I would say improve healthcare because it's on such a limited basis. And so it was wonderful to join 4GBI to think about ways to improve healthcare in a longer term frame, not for example, what I do, which is medical missions. So this Bio-Innovation Center, even though it is very early, I think is going to do wonderful things in terms of trying to harness the talent that is in this country. Because those of us abroad, I was born here, educated here to a certain point and then left. And my little early education has basically trained me to do what I do. And so not everybody needs to leave. Not everybody has to go out. And all of us can do it. But we can also certainly do what we can to try and improve healthcare for the lot of us who are here, who cannot all fly out, when there's a problem. So this has been great, and I'm looking forward to sharing what was done with my hospital people who all know what I do, and so it'd be great.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Boateng, I know you have a presentation for us, so I'll go around and we'll come back to you so that you'll be able to present effectively, if you don't mind. So let me move on very quickly to Andrula. Andrula, this whole thing about paradigm shift in this healthcare space. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you find yourself here.
Okay, so I'm Angela Techi. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. I graduated Academic City in 2022 with a degree in mechanical engineering. But what happened was during my time with some of my colleagues. And then after graduation, we came together and found an opportunity to start a company in that field, mainly assistive mobility. We realized that there was a gap in the market, and then there was an opportunity for us to leverage our local resources here in Ghana to set up production for assistive mobility. So that's where Goliath Robotics began. We started here right after graduation. We were incubated by Academic City, and we won our first grant and now we are operating fully as a business. We do mostly assistive technology and also engineering consultation. I think this discussion is essential because it's good to show people the possibilities of developing these healthcare devices here in Ghana. Because hospitals, what we do is when we interact with hospitals and all those things, we find that most of them are heavily dependent on importing goods and these devices here. And I feel like there is a big opportunity for Ghana or even West Africa in a whole to start moving in production of these devices and making ourselves self-sufficient in a way in the health sector. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And Dr. Dozie, I want to come to you from your experience. What kind of leadership mindset is needed to make healthcare technology truly work for people so that it's not just systems? How do we really make it work for people?
You know, it goes back to something Dr. Thelma said earlier about the mindset. And you have to have a certain mindset. There just needs to be a change in the mindset here in Ghana in terms of technology and assisting in developing and growing. There has to be a retention of the leadership, a change of leadership that is going to be looking at the future of the country and of the people. The employment must be available. You know, I want to say that in looking at the students' projects, you know, there were some fantastic projects there. And the one thing, my background basically is in student services. And as you know, mentorship is one of my big things here as well. And I just want to say that this morning when the moderator, when she asked, well, who has the best project here? I was expecting every one of the students who have a project to raise your hand. If you want, you know, you never know who was going to be in this audience. I mean, I'm a stranger to all of you. I could be a multi-billionaire looking to invest in a project. So all of you should have had your hand up and saying, I have the best project, and willing to speak up. And that's part of that mentorship that you need to develop within yourself, being mentored. And as I saw several projects in terms of the things that are needed here in Ghana, in terms of water, the purification of the water. One project that I saw, a couple of young ladies, and I want to say I'm proud of women getting into engineering. My wife was an architectural engineer, so I know what it's like and having to deal with the pressures of being a woman in a male-dominant field, because she would come home sometimes crying, oh, the way they're treating me, blah, 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 blah. And I had my own issues to deal with, I'd have to say. But I applaud the young ladies, those of you who are going into engineering. But one project that I noted was with the transfusion. And, you know, there's a history behind, as I explained to them, there's history behind blood transfusion. Do you know that it was a black man who started the blood transfusion there in America? And during World War II, because America would not accept, blood being shared, he went over to England, and there he founded the British Red Cross. Then he went back to America, where he's the founder of the American Red Cross here. But in America, separation of blood was because they said white blood and black people's blood cannot be mixed. And unfortunately, he died because he was in a car accident and they would not give him a white man's blood. You know, I say today he probably could have had the cure for cancer, but because he was so ingenious about the blood. And so this is where I see that the innovation, it's here. Being from America, I have several friends who are from Ghana, who are from Africa, basically, Nigeria, and they're so intelligent, and they're building the American economy, building the technology in America. And I'm saying, why aren't you back home building it in your own country? Now, there are some obstacles, but don't let the obstacles stop you. And I'm here to encourage you to say, don't allow the obstacles to stop you. Stand up and speak up. Speak loud. Be heard.
Don't allow the obstacles to stifle you. Thank you so much. And whilst we're waiting for his presentation, so Mr. Boateng will be doing a presentation for us. But before that, I want us to go through a couple of questions, get to know our panelists, and then we'll come back to your presentation. We'll end off with your presentation at the end, and then if there's any questions and answers, we'll take it from there. I want to come back to let me come back to Dr. Thelma here. Dr. Thelma, you know, in the US, technology is changing the whole interaction between doctor and patient. Do you think that the same thing could happen here? Should it? Or how do you think technology can change the way we do things in the medical sector in Ghana?
It has, well, I finished medical school in 89, so it's been a minute. It used to be chart-based, so everything was charts. And let me give it an aside. I was very curious as a kid, and I remember my grandmother was sick, was brought to Kwaledu. And I think they still do, where they give you your records and you carry it along. So they had the records there, and I dared to go and look to see what had been written, and I got quite a whipping for that. So I've always been nosy. But the charts in the US were kept in the doctor's offices. And I have seen the evolution of now all our charts being electronic. So the government decreed that charts should be electronic. They did not specify who should come up with the way that should be done. So my group, one of my partners was one who was into technology and said, guys, we need to do this. And I was like, really, really? Okay. So we went out, and they didn't tell you, that they will pay for it. Over here, everybody goes to government. The US government said you should, basically electronic records, you must do it by such and such a date. They did not say that they will pay for it. So you had to go out and pay for it yourself. They didn't specify which company should do it. So companies basically came out with their own versions. I've now gone through, I've had to learn 3 different electronic medical records. Right now I use one in my office. The hospital has a different system. Other hospitals have different systems. So there's, one company that's kind of a little widespread, but most people have different ones. So when you say, can it be applied here? I don't know if the government, like over here, since the health system is, Ghana health system, they can decree it. But can they tell private practitioners to go and use theirs? I do not know. And has it been for the better? Not always. The younger physicians who are actually typists, I cannot type. So I'm one of those, where's A, where's B people. So when we did electronic medical records in my office, we now had to, when the patient came back, physically enter their new information into the computer system. And if I tell you for 2 years, I slept at midnight because I did not want to do it while the patients were there. So you have a certain number of patients you see so you can pay your bills. So if you decided to enter the people when they were there, you would not see anybody and you had to pay bills. So what most of us did was you saw the patient and then you entered it after. So if you're a fast typist, you were fast. If you're slow like me, you slept at midnight. And now it is better because most people have kind of come back, and now if you come in, it is faster to put it in. So the young people are used to doing that. They type fast. You guys are used to the internet. It is not a problem for them. Patients do not like that because they see people, they're not making eye contact with the patients. So they're sitting there, you're talking to them and you're doing this. So patients don't like that. But it's made it very efficient. When somebody calls, now everything is on a computer. You just have to have web access. You can type it into the system and see what they're talking about, look at their record. So it's been great. But in terms of personal interaction, there's been limitations about that. So can it be done here? I'm sure it can be done within the larger locales. I don't know that it can be done outside, but I'm sure it can be done. And people, there are pluses and minuses to everything. So, I like to joke with my patients like, when I leave, you're not going to have anybody talking to you anymore. But that's just how it is. The younger ones are trained a particular way, and you just have to take it as it comes. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. One of the things that in a class that I teach, and I see some of my students here, I teach a course called Technology and Society. And actually, just last week, we were talking about appropriate technology. What are those technologies that we think are useful for the local community? How do we adapt those technologies to suit us? And how do we ensure that it solves a problem so we can take some of the global solutions that we're seeing out there, but how do we make sure that it works in the local context? And then after it's worked in the local context, how do you then scale up? So Andrew, I'm going to come up to you because I'm talking about scale up. You have come up with a solution that you are trying to put out there. And I remember she was also part of the team that helped us build the original ventilator. What are some of the barriers that you are facing practically right now as someone who's an innovator coming up with solutions that you want to get out there? What are some of the challenges you faced?
So access to funding, which is the main one. I think Ghana is not fully developed in the healthcare business sector. So you don't see a lot of investors looking to invest in those. The second thing is lack of local talents. So we do a lot of heavy engineering-based product. And I think what has saved us so far is the fact that we take almost all, I think all of our team are from Academic City. We got students here. And so you realize that the way they are trained to solve problems is different from other people. So what we realize is when other people come for internships, they now really have to learn. But for Academic City students, it's easier for them to adapt to whatever is going on and be ready to solve whatever problem that we are supposed to solve. I also think that because, again, this field is new, there are not a lot of policies and roadmaps as to how to navigate getting a product certified and all those things. Because they are not straightforward, we have to spend most of our time trying to see how do we get this product standardized? What are even the certifications we have to build our product measuring? The information is not there. We had to spend 1 whole year doing those research. What are even the specifications that a normal wheelchair here in Ghana, what is the one that will be allowed here? Having to really involve all those professionals, having to find someone in the ministry to have those conversations with. It's not really the easiest thing to do, especially if you are right out of university trying to start something. And lack of materials, basically, too. That's the last thing. As much as we try to leverage resources here in Ghana, it's difficult to even test various metals because you go and buy some metal, they will say it's stainless steel. You go and do the testing, and all those three are various different metals. It is difficult because at the end of the day, you are trying to leverage a lot of local resources. However, you will still have to import other parts. So trying to find those parts, at the end of the day, it is difficult to make your product accessible as you intended it to be because all those shipping, and there are no free shipping for medical devices. We also have to go to the port and then try to negotiate for clearance fees. At the end of the day, because all those policies are not in place for us, it is really difficult to say that you want to keep on being in that field unless you really want to impact. You are really thinking about impact and not money, right? Yeah, so those are the obstacles that we face. We always face things around those ones, but we feel like we are doing something good. We are looking at impact now But we also believe that after we are able to scale, it will bring profits in the long run and also give other people the opportunity to also set up companies in the same field. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mr. Boateng, I was going to wait till you did your presentation, but what Andrula said, so one of the challenges, those who are building medical devices now are in the certification. So we have heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that if we bring devices from abroad, it's easier to do patent approval, or
I'll talk about
you talk about that in the presentation. So that's the main thing. Okay, so some of the things that Andula is asking, how do we get our medical devices out there? What are the processes and things to look at? I was going to put you on the spot and respond, but he tells me it's in his presentation.
Part of it.
It's part of his presentation.
That's the main reason why.
That's the main reason.
I was happy she mentioned that.
Okay, so please look out. In his presentation, he'll be addressing some of those things for us as well. So we'll come back to him. And then I'll come back to you, Dr. Dozier, again. Coming back to this whole idea of this mindset thing, we are trying to encourage and show the world out there. This is the main purpose of this expo. When we say the new paradigm in healthcare technology, we're trying to say that in Ghana, we too, we can do it. The whole essence of the exhibition that we had there is for us to, for people to showcase and show us that it is really possible. But how do we even get the information out there even and get people to buy into it and actually invest into it? As Andrula led to, one of their biggest issues is funding. And even us here, one of the biggest issue we are looking into our innovation center is funding. So how do we support these initiatives?
Yeah, funding is very important. And as I indicated earlier, you never know who was in this audience, a multimillionaire who's looking to invest in some of the things that you're showing and demonstrating. And so it's seeking out funding to invest in your project. Also in getting your project out there, or, I was talking with Dr. Fred earlier, and he mentioned how, there was one hospital here that, in reference to a fan, and he had actually invented here at the university, they made a fan that they could use in the hospital. But the hospital could not use it because of federal various regulations, department approval here and there. Now I'm about to say something, and if you said that I said it, I'm gonna deny it. Sometimes it is better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. And what do I mean by that? I'll use that fan situation. If that doctor, that hospital had taken that fan and used it for the betterment of the patient and for the hospital, and then if the regulators want to come and say, oh no, you shouldn't have used it. Oh, I'm sorry, we should, so that's asked, oh, forgive me. So sometimes it's better to do that. Now use that very, discretionally, please. But so it's taking that leadership role and it's standing up, being vocal. If you believe in your project, you have to speak up. Because if you don't believe in it, or if you don't speak up, how is that investor going to believe you know your product, or you know your project, you know what your invention? So you have to know how to sell that project or sell yourself. Earlier, I'm forgetting the young lady's name, the doctor's name, but she had mentioned about when you go to get to know the person that you need to speak with. And one of the other things I want to add to that is if you know the individual in that company that you want to speak to get to know, first go to LinkedIn, look at what are their credentials, where are they coming from, things that they like, the things that they have done. And so then when you get to meet that individual or you see them casually, now you can talk to them and get that meeting that you want with them. So there are other ways around what you need to do, but it's getting to know the individuals. It's getting to know your project, being able to speak to others about your project, that they are then willing to invest in your project. But you have to be able to, and I don't like to say sell yourself and sell your project, but you have to invest in it yourself and be willing to stand up and speak out in reference to it.
Thank you so much. So I think one of the things that keeps on coming back is that we need to understand the regulation element as well. So, I mean, sometimes, as he said, you could technically start using, but when it comes to the medical sector, you have to be super, super careful, isn't it? Because you're dealing with lives here. So I think at this point in time, Mr. Boateng, let me hear from you for your presentation, and then we will then go to the public and then open up this forum for a wider discussion. No, I think.
New paradigms in healthcare technology. Now, there's this big thing that sits behind the scenes with what we are doing. We are so silent on it, but it's very, very, very important that we have to pay attention to it. We are going to talk about measurements. Now, these instruments, what are you using these instruments for? For diagnosis. I'm going to tell you your glucose level is X, your glucose level is Y. How do we ensure the accuracies of this measuring instruments? Have you ever been to an hospital and asked of the calibration reports of the measuring instruments? My man is laughing. Okay, so my simple question to Madam Lucy is, no, it's just a simple question. Don't be afraid. If you have two glucometers, one tells you your glucose level is 5.5 millimoles per liter. Okay, the other one tells you it is maybe 7.5. Okay, you have two results. Okay, now which one do you take as your glucose level? Because at 7.5 now you are going to be diabetic. You are going to be diagnosed.
So I'll take the 5.5.
I thought as much. Are you getting my point? So it sits behind the scenes, but it's the most relevant thing because we are using it to do what? Diagnostics. You know the meaning of incorrect diagnosis? It can lead to what? Death. So Madam mentioned about traceability chains. When you say traceability chains, what are you saying is, you see, metrology has what we call physical quantities. Like I have this one. You want to know the mass. So you're going to give it a mass of, let's say, 1,000 gram. So assuming you have two scales, you have two scales. One weighs 1,000 gram, the other weighs 1,006 grams, right? With the same sample. Now, which one are you taking as the mass of that same sample? Somebody told me in one of my audience for a discussion told me you take the average of the two. But the thing is, the metrology space, we've designed what you call traceability chains. All the measurements you do in your lab, the blood sample you are weighing on your scale, your temperature, your glucose level, they should all be traceable to international standards. So in 1874, around 20th May, the first one. Yes, this group of scientists came together to do what we call the SI units, Standard International Unit. I don't think this is the first time you are hearing of this. So what did they do? We all have to come together and define what you called the SI unit. So if I ask you, what is the SI unit of mass, you tell me it's what? Kilogram. But then it means when Tanko tells me your mass is 64 kilograms, it means it's 64 times something we've all sat down and defined as a what? As a kilogram. So then the question is, how heavy is this thing we are calling a kilogram? So this group of scientists in 1874 came together and were like, okay, let's come to an agreement and fund an office that will seek to the global comparability of what? Measurements. There should be some sort of degree of equivalence in what? Measurements. My 1 kilo here should be the same as 1 kilo in Netherlands. Should be the same as the 1 kilo in what? Germany. So You see the globe? Now we are doing measurement too. It's very, very important. So they took the North Pole to the equator. If you take the North Pole to the equator, that distance, they divide it by what? 10 million. So when you pick one, that one becomes the definition of the what? The meter. We call it the meter convention. So all length measurements are made reference to what? This meter. Are you getting my point? So now with this meter, now we are coming to the mass. They divide it into 10. We call it the 1 decimeter. So when you divide it into 10, you get something small like this. And then they build a cube. We pour water in the cube. And how heavy that water is, we are calling it what? A kilogram. So that's it can hold 1 liter of what? Water. So all mass measurements are reference to this what? 1 kilogram. So that scale in your lab, that 1 reads 1,006, 1 reads 1,000 grams. How is it traceable to this that we've defined? So when they defined it, you see, it's the mass of water that weighs, we call it 1 kilogram. Now, it's kept in a vault in BIPM. That's the highest body of measurement in the world. We call it BIPM. So this is kept in a vault there. It's fabricated. It's a platinum iridium metal, 1 kilogram. I have a copy here. Let me show it to you. I like to demonstrate a lot. Oh, yes. So someone has seen. So you are not doing accurate measurement. So you see, this is 500 grams. So what I said was 1 kilogram. When you do, every country has what you call a National Meteorology Institute. So copies of what has been defined as 1 kilogram is made for all the National Meteorology Institutes, right? Now, they also use it to do, we call it calibrations. They used to check the measuring scales. So this is a 1 kilo. They do what we call calibration. They check it against it. So whatever sample you've weighed, if I ask you how accurate is your sample, you tell me you weigh it on what? At the weighing scale. Now, how accurate is the weighing scale to? Who watches the watchman? Okay, then the scale will refer you to what? This one. This will also refer you to what we've all defined as what? 1 kilogram. So all mass measurements are made related to what? That kilogram. So that we do this to ensure what? Accuracies in the measurements. Yes, so now another thing is we have 3 departments of metrology. Metrology is just the science of measurement. So we have the scientific metrology. They are taking part of to ensure this is kept within the accuracies, within the limit of the temperature and the pressure and whatever. And then we have the industrial metrology. So the industrial metrology goes to these hospitals with reference standards to check if those measuring instruments in the hospitals, the healthcare, agri, construction, it's everywhere. Measurement is everywhere. All those instruments are reading what? Accurately. So that's the work of the industrial metrology. Now, when you come to, that's where the pattern approval thing is coming in. When it comes to, we have legal metrology. Now, the legal metrology is a branch of metrology that ensures fairness and consumer protection, accuracies in the trading. You understand? Now, you want to manufacture, now you want to commercialize the medical equipment locally, right? So if you want to manufacture this equipment locally, there's an activity or an exercise at our end we call, you mentioned, type approval or what? Pattern approval. Now, when you say type approval or pattern approval, after having manufactured all your equipment, it's a mass production, you need to submit samples at our end. So when you submit the samples at our end, we have accredited labs, like a glucometer. Currently, we are working on this one. So we submit the samples at our end. We test it to international standards. So for instance, this very one, so I think this is what Madam Lucy is interested in. You see all the standards. So we test them against these standards to ensure that the customer is protected, is assured of accuracies of the equipment. You understand? The customer doesn't have that facility to test the equipment. So the legal metrology department, that's what we call pattern approval. We test it against these standards to ensure protection. So this is to ensure trust in the healthcare delivery. Thank you. So if there are any questions, I think it's a 15 minutes something.
So if you can take your seat again, thank you so much. So then our question that we have for you is, now that we are in this expo, we are trying to encourage Ghanaians or all over the world for us to start coming up with technologies in this field that can transform people's lives. I guess working for Ghana Standards Authority, what is your role in supporting or ensuring that what we are seeing here is a lot of standards? And I would like to throw a question out here that how many of us who have been able to demonstrate our prototypes out there have actually read any of these standards?
So
Let me see by hands.
yes. Wow, beautiful. So in the course of the manufacturing, you also have to have an in-house system to test it against. So you get the standards, and you also do the test against the standards, so that before you submit the samples, you are sure of your quality before you submit the sample. So it's about time you also start delving into that areas where you build systems to test it according to the standards. You understand?
But as GSA, do you have a support unit so that we can...
Yeah, you can call us at any time, T, for any education in this regard.
Did
It's
you
for
hear
free.
him? He said at any time what?
T.
So even that he's doing it in measurement
So,
style.
man, I think you mentioned something like you were having challenges with testing of something. So, yeah.
So I think her issue was the fact that even in Ghana, we couldn't guarantee the consistency of the
So
metal.
he didn't come to the right place. So you come to GSC, and then when you finish, take my number, okay? We'll work it out.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a problem. Okay.
The connections.
Yeah,
Please give him a round of applause. So I think this would be a good time for us to come to the audience, and then let's make it a bit more interactive. If we have any questions for any of our panelists. Do we have any questions? Yes, I can see a hand going on there. So let me take one of the mics. If I can have an assistant, please. Thank you. Please, when you take the phone, the microphone, can you please introduce yourself and then your question?
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
My name is Isaac, medical laboratory scientist at Pantan Hospital. I wanted to know, is there any difference between the Standard Boards and the Food and Drugs Authority? Oh, there's a follow-up.
Yes, it's two separate entities.
Okay.
Yeah, two separate entities. They are basically with the food and drugs, and we are with the certification, standardization, and then metrology. So that's what the Standards Authority is basically doing. Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I was asking this is, I went to Standard Boards to, I had this company that they wanted to come in to build test kits, all right? And so they gave me a sample to test it in the market if it's going to work very well.
You went to FDA?
Yeah, I went to FDA first. I came to Standard Boards.
Okay.
So apparently they were telling me Standard Boards only tells you, yeah, this is good for the market. And then FDA is going to test for the thing if it's actually good for the market. And I was so confused. And so I wanted to ask, I don't know, they were not giving me proper definition between the two. And they were also telling me to produce about 500 or so test kits for them to say that the product is very good. Does it apply to your end?
No, test kits.
Test kits,
It's
yeah.
the FDA that does
Yeah.
the reagents, and they do those test kits thing. Yeah.
So Standard Boards doesn't
No.
take care of
don't do
those
that.
things.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
I guess the question then is, how we have looked at the concept of medical devices.
Yeah, the concept of medical device. GSA,
Where does it start? Where does it end? Where does FDA take over? Where does it end?
So we are basically into the measurements and then the accuracies in the measurements. You understand? The type approval thing is it type approval. So it's actually talking about measurement, how the quality of the instruments subject to measuring and then the Standards Authority. Yeah.
And then when we create devices such as
The reagents, those go to the FDA, Drugs Authority. So our attention is on the measurements and the accuracies in it and the quality of the products, the measurement.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you. My name is Isaac Boateng from KNUSC. So I want to ask this question. we use a lot of sensors, right? And then we do a lot of calibration. Yes, in the device that we want to produce. And then sometimes you face fluctuations. Is there any technical advice that you can give to us for us to ensure consistency when we are doing calibrations?
So that has to do with stability, right? So you bring your equipment there. We have systems to do the corrections for you. Okay. So whatever equipment you are using as your reference standard, you bring it there, we check it for you. Yeah. Okay. I think stability is what you're talking about. Yes, with this one we have our business lens on, so definitely it comes with cost. When it comes to calibration, the reference standards for doing the calibration is very expensive. Now I'll use a reference to calibrate yours. My reference, when it expires, I told you it's traceable to international standards. So I also send it somewhere Germany for them to calibrate it. So I don't bear this cost, and then you bring yours and you expect me to do it for free. It won't work now. No, for you, the development, so you can meet at the high level, and then we talk. You are championing a very good cause. You are on the right tangent. This is a yeoman's job, but let's meet. People meet at the top there, and then talk about that when they come, because you can't have the financial muscle to be doing some of these things. So probably you talk at a high level. Fancy the DG. Yeah. For me, if I have the capacity, I will do it for free because it's good for Mother Ghana. What you are doing is very good for Mother Ghana. Keep it up.
Please, I saw other hands up. Any other hands? Yes, please.
Okay. My name is Beju Prince, and I'm a student of Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. But for today, this is a very general question. I want to settle this debate. It's about whether or not traditional doctors or surgeons, for instance, are going to be replaced by robots in the next 10 years. Because we had this debate. Someone was arguing that a dying patient would not like to see a metallic structure trying to perform something on him or her. And another person said, if it's going to be very efficient and very perfect, then why not? Because we are all pushing for the general good. So I want to see how you can settle this debate for me, whether or not the next 10 years, traditional doctors or surgeons are going to really lose their job. Thank you.
Oh. So I think this is a general question to the panel. I'll take a stab at it. I think one of the things that we do say is that the job of tomorrow looks nothing like the jobs of today. So how the world will look like in 10 years now, 20 years, that we can only anticipate, but it looks nothing like it looks today. But what we know is that it's going to be technology driven. It's going to be technology infused. Are we going to see the traditional doctrine of surgeons who are just going to cut you open? Probably some of them might still be there, but there's elements of now that if you want to do a bit more precision or want to do surgery, whilst Dr. Thelma is right now, she's coming to Ghana to do the surgeries here. But very soon, she could still stay in the US through the power of technology and then remotely use equipment locally to conduct the surgery. Are we there yet? We are on our way there. Will all jobs, will we lose all doctors? Probably not. The doctors that adapt. If the Dr. Thelma comes up and tells us that, hey, media, I don't want to use machines, I want to learn, then unfortunately very soon we'll say goodbye, Dr. Thelma. But when Dr. Thelma says, you know what, I want to know what the new technological innovations are, and then she adapts herself, and she also informs how these technologies work because they have worked in the sector for years, then we see them working side by side. I hope that helps. But let me hear what you have to say, Dr. Thelma.
For now, there are certain things that cannot replace me. So when COVID came, telehealth became a big thing. So I can do patient appointments by telehealth, but only certain conditions can be done by telehealth. For gynecology, part of the thing is a pelvic exam. I do not know how you do that by telehealth. So you can't replace me. All right, so there are certain things that cannot be replaced. So one of the things with healthcare workers is that there are certain things that can be changed. I mean, one prime example is in the US, toll booth collectors. 95 had every few miles somebody sitting there just collecting money. Now there's none of them. All of us have a little sensor. You pay your money and you just zoom through. So those people are all basically made redundant. But nursing, there are certain healthcare things that are not going to be replaced by machines. Machine is not going to be doing that, and certainly not in this country, not for a while. I think, robots may do certain things. I mean, in gynecology now, a lot of stuff is laparoscopy. I'm not very good in laparoscopy because when I was training, that was not the thing, right? But not everything can be done laparoscopically. So the younger people, when it comes to open cases, I dance around them. When it comes to laparoscopy, they would dance around me. But not everything can come out the way they want. So you still end up having to learn certain things. But no, I don't see that soon. I think eventually will. But there are certain things that just machines and robots just will not replace human beings. Right?
Yeah, I don't want us to lose the human touch because that is extremely important, particularly in medical care. Because when you're sick, and I've been sick, and I don't want a robot over asking me, or telling me it's time to take your pill. I need some comfort and some care. And so, yes, some things will change, but remember, there's always going to be that human element, and we need that connection as people. If we ever lose that connection, we become inhuman. And I don't want us to get to that point. It's bad enough that, when I was born, the telephone was, something that sat on the desk or wherever, and long distance was having that long distance cord on you, and that's a privacy, and today it's held in my hand. I text, but I'm not fond of texting because I need that human contact. I need to hear the voice. I need to see those eyes, that eye-to-eye contact. So technology is changing things, but don't let it replace the human touch that's really needed.
When I call my children, they don't answer. If I text them, they answer immediately.
Yep.
So when he got stuck in the garage one day and he called me, I didn't answer. I let him freeze a bit and see how it goes.
Text yourself out, right? All right, fantastic. So we'll take some more questions. And I think one of the things that we have always said in this sector, again, in one of the courses I teach, is that humans, we must give ourselves some credit as well. Humans are the most adaptable things ever that you ever meet, because back in the days from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age, we always adapted. So it's all about adaptation. And then regulations are now going to help us slow some of these things down so that we do not lose that human element. But how do we then also use technology to propel or to even create even more access to people who normally wouldn't have had access? So some of the things that telehealth has done is that normally people who don't have access to doctors can now, by power of technology, have access. So finding that balance, striking that balance so that we don't lose the essence of who we are, but still be able to advance medical access, technology in all various forms is a great one. Please, I saw some arms there. Can I see a hand? Okay.
Thank you so much. So I'm the person of Gideon Joseph from All Nations University. So most of the time in our educational sector, they have categorized biomedical as School of Biomedical and Allied Health Sciences. Some people would think biomedical will fall under allied health sciences. Some people will say biomedical is excused from allied health sciences. So it is like, as a biomedical personnel, you are cutting across life sciences, social sciences, or the engineering field. Yet, most of the time when you go to the school, it is more like, whilst you are doing the microbiology, pathology, it is more centered around medical equipment management. So our mentality is mostly limited to medical equipment management. So please, I am asking today, is it that, are we supposed to have that mentality that as biomedical engineers, we can do other things? Because there was one particular time that I asked someone, as a biomedical engineer, would you be interested to do gynecology? He was saying, he said, ew, that was a female's job. And I was like, oh no, but biomedicine cuts across different fields. So even if you're a biomedical engineer, you can still go and do medicine. It doesn't mean that there is a competition among the engineering market. So explore other places. So I want to see your suggestions on whether people can go into other field or still maintain our field and then try and survive in it. Thank you.
Does anyone want to attempt? So I think, from what it sounds, is an industry to absorb our biomedical issues. The fact that a lot of the traditional biomedical engineers are being trained in medical equipment management. And I think even during the COVID era, when we put the call outs for other biomedical engineers to join us, a lot of them they were working for equipment suppliers and managing those equipment. I don't know about other universities. I can only talk about Academic City. Academic City, the curriculum is centered around people who are going to be creating those technologies, not necessarily managing them. And there is a focus on our biomedical in equipment and devices, because we see there is a lack of locally made appropriate technology for our use. A lot of the equipment that are in the system at the moment, I remember when the COVID hit, the ventilators, we went to Kolebu and the likes, and they had loads of ventilators, but most of them had broken down, and we didn't have the skills or expertise to service or bring them back up. So we are looking at, can we create devices that work for us, but made by us, so that we can design, build, maintain the full life cycle. I don't think biomedicals should give up yet. I feel like Ghana is such an untapped there's so many opportunities around the whole sector. So I think there's ways that we can apply whatever we are learning. Yes, let's be open to other, obviously, sectors as well, because if you want to work in a variety of fields, by all means do so. But let's not lose focus of why you wanted to study biomedical engineering. And what have you learned? And what are some of the challenges that you encounter on a day-to-day basis? Using what you've learned, what new thing can you create? What new solution can you come up with, which will help somebody else? So let's not lose focus on that. I don't know if our panelists have anything else to add.
Yeah, I think it's important that you work in teams, because if you work in teams, there are ideas from other members of the team. America went through this thing of where it became the individual. You know, the individual was creating all by themselves. But they got to the point where now we have to work in teams, because as a team, you could come up with different ideas of different backgrounds, or they're able to lend in some additional information. I'll have to reflect on one of the prototypes that I saw was for a battery operated operation room light. You know, because you have your Dunsuras here. And so, am I saying it right? Dunsur? Dunso. And so they developed a lamp for the hospital, a battery operated. And my seeing that project, and then I thought about, there's this a woman here in Ghana, I believe her company's up in Tamasi, where she's taking plastic and grinding it up and adding sand and some other processing it and making bricks. And they're turning out to be stronger than cement bricks. And so I was able to say to them, well, you know, you have a still that's heavy. Can you get to that project and to see that person who may be able to make a mold out of plastic so that it's now lighter? So this is when we start sharing information with others and doing teamwork. Other ideas can come in to make your projects even stronger.
Okay. And I think because of time, we're just going to take, 1, 2, 3. The hands keep on going up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. And then I'll take our closing remarks, and then we will end it so that we can pull back some of our time. Yes, please.
Thank you very much once again. My name is Mami Ifya Owusu, and I'm a student of Academic City University. So my question is still in relation to the GSA. There are some biomedical devices that require both, that have both a chemical composition and are still used to measure, to take measurements. And so in such a case, where would you recommend the starting point to be? Do we need to go to GSA first and then go to FDA, or go to FDA first before GSA? And then the second question is, during the past few days, you know, we've spoken of bureaucracy. And so I'd like to know if there are any measures being taken by GSA, to reduce the burden and the stress on innovators when we are trying to do something new? Thank you.
Doc, can we take maybe about 2 or 3 questions, then we come to the panel? Is that okay?
Let me finish with them.
You want to finish with it? Okay, all right.
So the solutions, you are talking about reference solutions to test your equipment or something, right? Did you prepare the solutions by yourself? You don't, right? Do you prepare by? Yeah. So the solutions, mostly when they are coming, the companies, the manufacturing companies, they have standards or certificates. It has to come with certificates. So we also buy some of the solutions. The solutions we don't prepare here. We don't work on solutions. We are now trying to build capacity. You have a chemistry lab that is trying to work on these things. So when it's fully out there or operational, I'll get you informed. But currently, when you are buying, insist on certificates, reference solution certificates before you use it to do your test. Of course, it has to be traceable to, as I said, international standards. And then you made mention of, I think, bureaucratic procedures. No. For this one, you see, both institutions don't have the reference solutions. We don't have any systems to test maybe a pH solution or whatever. No, we don't have that system to test it. So as I said, now you have to rely on, third-party certificates. In-house, we don't have. So you have to rely on third-party certificates. Okay. Thank you. And the bureaucracy, So have you gone through anything trying to get certification or calibration or verification or something, a test to be conducted on something that you went through some bureaucracies? Because for me, from where I sit, there are no bureaucracies in where I work, GSA. So have you had any experience with that? Because probably some other institutions, but for GSA, trust me, there are no bureaucracies. We are always up there. Oh, yeah, don't worry, there are no bureaucracies.
So go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I am Abubakar Sadiq Yusuf from the University of Ghana. My question has to do with artificial intelligence in healthcare. We know that recently a lot of work has been done in coming up with models or predictive models in diagnosis of certain diseases and the like. I want to find out if there are any regulations or policies in GSA to guide some of these non-tangible predictive models to help with diagnosis, and if they are not, is the institution working towards coming up with things like that? Because I think we are heading into a world of artificial intelligence. Thank you.
As you say, we are gravitating towards that world of artificial intelligence. This basically has to do with software and stuff, and I think we are not at that point where we standardize some of these things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Now, I was just going to say, even in the US where some of this stuff is good, it's new and they're not, people are just doing, they're just doing anyhow. It's all very chaotic and they're trying to get them to set some standards, but you're talking to politicians and, it has not been done. So, people, a lot of patients, now will Google, I have a headache, and then AI will spill out something, and then they come to you, and sometimes the first thing that will put in there is something really crazy. And when they come to you as a physician, they wouldn't tell you they've looked it up. And so now I've taken to, what did you look up? Because you now have to disabuse them of what they have in their head that is wrong with them, right? So I always, I work with pregnant patients. So, I had to one time disabuse a patient of the fact that she thought she was having an abruption, which is placental separation, and she just was convinced she had that. I finally had to say, if you did that, the baby would be dead. Oh, really? Okay. But if you Google it and you put certain things in it, certain questions in it, that's what we'll come up with. So it's not been regulated at all. I'm not sure that over here will be the same. I'm sure we're all kind of modeling our way through. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have one more, right? Eish. Okay, please say both of them. So we take them and then we address them once and for all, please. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much for this great opportunity. My name is Bertram Akwa from Valley View University. And my question is directed towards Miss Andrula. Okay, so starting something huge as a young graduate must have come with a lot of hurdles. So can you walk us through how you managed the transition from student to entrepreneur, the strategies you used to build credibility, the kind of support you received, and how you went about securing funding or grants to sustain your
thesis? All right. All right. We will let Andrula sum up when she's done, but let's take the next one. Let's take the next question.
Okay, the next.
And then. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Patrick from Pantine, National Military Training College. My question goes to the GSA rep. I remember when Prof. Dodu was head of GSA, he made mention of plans to standardize weights in Ghana, especially in our markets. And so I want to find out, what are the plans you have as a body to standardize weights in Ghana? You go to the market to buy, let's say, tomatoes or yam, and there is no standard weights. And so I want to know the plans you have to standardize weights in Ghana, especially in our markets. Thank you.
So thank you so much for those questions. Andrula, yours, if you can keep it very succinct for us, but please do find her after this session so that she can give you all her secrets. Don't reveal all your secrets now. And then the last question will go to the GSA. But then, Andrula, as you answer the question, your concluding remarks, what encouraging words do you have for people in this room as you address that question? And then we'll come back to you.
I think one of the most important factors that helped me and my other co-founders building this our company was ACity. At our final year demo, ACity, the Dr. Lucy and everyone were the ones that suggested that it's actually a good idea to try and capitalize on our product and try and start a company, right? It was the institution we found ourselves in. They gave us the encouragement. I think that was what helped us branch into it. But all I have to say is if you are very passionate about something, you are very young, I entrust you to use all your skills right now and try and do the craziest ideas and innovations that you could ever do. Participate in anything, any chance you get. And then if something is really viable, people will actually come to you and then partner with you to build something. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And then we'll come to you, Mr. Boateng. GSA, the question was to GSA. So, and your last concluding remarks as well. After that, I'll go to Dr. Thelma and Dr. Dozie as well.
Okay, so he said, Prof. Dodu mentioned about the weights and measures, right? Yes, so last year we went to the market to do what you call sensitization. I was there with my brother. So, talking to these butchers and these market women about this thing is not an easy task. So it's a big informal sector. So we are trying to sensitize them. We will get there, but it's a gradual process. When you are dealing with those in the informal sector, you have to, work in a manner that wouldn't offend people. Like there was a time back, they went to Northern Region to see the butchers on why they should check their skills with this way to see if they are reading accurately, and then they chase them with machetes and cutlasses and all. So we have to take our time when it comes to these things. So we'll get there, okay? It's a gradual process. So my last words will be, anytime you go to these hospitals to go and check your blood sugar level, you check your temperature, machines that are going to diagnose you of ailments, you need to insist and when you say it has been checked against a reference standard that is more accurate. Look out for our stickers. I have a sticker in my bag. Oh, it's here. The sticker is here. So you look out for, this is a calibration sticker. You look out for this, okay? If the item has been calibrated, tell the doctors, please, is the thermometer calibrated? The glucometer? Can't you do that? Oh, this is simple to do, no? Yeah. So you prefer to be diagnosed wrongly? You prefer to be diagnosed wrongly? No. We have data there for pressure gauges, fake pressure monitors that were measuring inaccurately. So you can imagine a rippling effect from these pressure gauges. It has data there. When you come, I can pull it out for you to see it. So insist. Nobody will punish you for doing that. Thank you.
No, I'd just like to continue to encourage all of you young people. If you believe in your project, if that's your passion, go after your passion. And don't let anyone tell you no. You're going to get, I'll use my experience. I retired as a vice president of a college. Now, and this is back in the U.S. Now, I probably applied to, I'll say, over 100 different positions for vice presidency. And I got 99 no's, but it just took that one yes. So you're going to knock on many doors, but it will just take that one yes. And so continue to knock on those doors.
I want to, I want to encourage you to be passionate about what you do. Try and make money. And I hope you all get there and make lots of money. And when you do and you get there, please have a little bit of altruism in your life. The one thing that I do not find in this country of ours is altruism. People don't think about that. I see the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces and the stuff. See how we're struggling to get a little money for our innovation center. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who knows all these big people. And I said, why don't you talk to them and see if they can give us a little money? Because they don't think about these things. A little altruism in this country. There's money here, and I do realize there's a big gap between those who have, those who do not. But there are people who have money. And the fact that you guys have these devices and things that you are coming up with, and you can't even think about somebody who may say, oh, here's, $5,000. See if you can make do. They can afford to lose it. They buy bags. That costs more than that, So when you make it, and some of you will make it, I hope many of you make it, please think about people who are less fortunate than you, okay? Think about people less fortunate than you. People are sometimes amazed about how long since I left this country and why I still come back. And I do it all basically on my own. It's not that I'm wealthy, but the little bit that you do goes a long way. The joy that you see in somebody that you've done something for is great. So when you make it, please have a little bit of altruism and think about the larger society. Small. And I'll say this about Lee and the rest of the crew at 4GBI. If it wasn't for Lee, I wouldn't be doing this. But I see how hard Dr. Makowski, who's not Ghanaian, is so vested in trying to improve healthcare for us. And I stick along, okay? Because how can somebody not from here be more vested in my country than I am, right? I'm not an engineer. I can't think of some of the stuff you do. I have no idea. But that the sense of trying to do better for people, let that be added to what you're doing. By all means, come up with something that I hope is going to be big and will make you famous. And in my old age, I remember her from Academic City. But when you get there, please remember, donate small. Talk to somebody. Be a mentor to somebody. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we've heard quite a number of things during this discussion. We've talked about an important thing, that mindset, encouraging ourselves that we can do it, that everybody here has the ability to do it. We've been told that we need to look back. When we hit it and when we hit the jackpot, we have to look back and also invest in our own future. And Jula has walked us through her process, which is a clear example that you can even take your high school project and turn it into a business. And GSA is saying that when you go to the hospital, ask them, has this been calibrated? But do it with measure, right? Do it with measure. But they are there. They are there for us. If we are coming up with devices that is going to measure, we want to make sure that it is giving out the right information. So I want to say a massive thank you to all my panelists for joining us this afternoon, for sharing your views, and we truly appreciate you all. And thank you for being a wonderful audience as well. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Thank you very much. So for this next session, we're really behind time. So we will go through this very quickly. Thanks to Dr. Francis for, I heard him saying, you need to work in teams, work in teams, work in teams. If you also remember, during the minister's talk, he made one statement, and he said, I think the man from Inca, he gave us four key things. Do you remember what are the 4 key things? Okay, they were all to do with partnerships. He said to partner with the government, to partner with this, 4 different partnerships. The point I'm trying to make is we do need a lot of partnerships in this game, in this business. We need to work in teams and we need lots of partnerships. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Tanko Mohammed. I'm a director here for program management at Academic City University. And this activity we're going to do is the establishment of collaborations amongst ourselves here. And it's going to be a quick exercise because we're really short of time. What we're going to do is to try and get each institution, each company present here to say a word or two about what they do, who they are and what they do, so that we'll all know what they're doing and find out if there are people we can collaborate with or not, right? So what we're going to do quickly is we're going to mention the names of the organizations. We have some notes writers here who are going to be writing down what you're saying, and at the end of the day, we will share that information with everybody so that we all know who is here, what everyone is doing, and see how we
in the country. We engage in conformity assessment, metrology, standardization. So that's basically what we do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is WACBIP around? WACBIP.
WACBIP. Okay. I'm a lab technician at WACBIP. So I worked there for 10 years before I joined as a lecturer in Department of Biomedical Engineering.
Very good.
Yeah. So WACBIP, we do a lot of researches. We have 7 research labs: virology lab, cancer cell biology lab, and chemical pathology lab, immunology lab, and malaria lab. And we also produce vaccines. Yeah.
Very good.
Inca Diagnostics.
Inca Diagnostics.
Infrastructure Logistics.
Infrastructure Logistics.
Doza Research. I don't see him. StradMed Innovations.
StradMed.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lois. I'm from StradMed Innovations. So we use design thinking to solve healthcare problems. So we make medical devices here in Ghana. Thank you.
Nuclear Regulatory Authority.
Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Enes Baimpo from the Nuclear Regulatory Authority. We are a state institution that regulate the use of any nuclear or radioactive device in Ghana, similar to what the Ghana Standard Authority do. And so if you go to the hospital and you take an X-ray, also remember to find out their authorization certificate, because we do studies on them to ensure that the doses that they are giving to their patients are not harmful to them. And we also ensure that those who are occupationally exposed are well taken care of. So that's what we do at the Nuclear Regulatory Authority.
Right, thank you. Land speech AI. Heritage Labs. Nursing and Midwifery Training College, Pantan.
Yeah, okay, I see them here. Who is going? Okay.
Hi, my name is Abiba Yusuf. We are students, midwife, and nurses.
Did you come with any projects?
No.
What does your hospital specialize in? I mean, what
Midwives and nurses.
as the name states,
Training.
right?
It's a training college.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have Kolebu here? Shai Osudoku District Hospital. Okay. Academic City University.
Tanko? Mr. Tanko, you may want to take this. Nelly?
We'll take this at the end.
Okay.
Let's go on.
I'm told we have Pantan Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Exercise for you.
So that answers the question my boss was asking what they do. So we do general medical OPD cases. We also take care of the psychiatric patients, and we have x-rays. We have a big laboratory, not that big, but it's good. And then, of course, we have TR tests too. So we are also looking forward to receive some internship students from this school so that we can help them get to know lots of projects. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Northeastern University.
I don't know.
Who's going?
It's okay. It's okay. Unless you want to, do you want to say something? Or
Should I skip
we've
Boston,
talked.
or
Okay.
Boston would like to tell us something? Boston University. Should I skip?
I'm Esther Bullitt. I'm from the Boston University Medical School. So we're associated with the Safety Net Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. And we live by the mission of exceptional care without exception.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Valley View University.
Okay.
My name is Lois. I'm the president of engineering department in Valley View University. Our team focuses on the implementing engineering principles in developing innovative medical solutions and improving healthcare technology. Thank you.
Right. All Nations University.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Mercy Adusai-Boatsuma. All Nation University is the first private university in Ghana to run biomedical engineering. So for that matter, we have products all over, from the northern to the south, clinical engineers. We find our products everywhere. And we are still on training and producing more engineers. We have most of our alumni outside Ghana, and even in Ghana, we are also here. And I would say our pitch we did tells a story about what we do inside there. Indeed, we are equipped for every good work.
Right. University of Ghana.
Okay.
Is it the same as University of Ghana Medical School, or are two different entities? Right.
Okay, so I'll speak on behalf of the School of Engineering Sciences from the University of Ghana. I mean, we have about 5 different departments there. I'm coming from the biomedical engineering department, and many of my colleagues are here. We do a lot of things into bioinstrumentation, where we look at a lot of medical equipment and biomedical devices. We also have nanotheranostics lab. We have cell and molecular biology labs, a whole lot. We do a lot of things. In fact, when you come to the University of Ghana, we make things work. Thank you.
Right.
The other University of Ghana, someone else from University of Ghana was here. I know you have many groups, many departments.
From the same department, right?
University of Ghana. That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
University of Ghana Medical School.
UGMC, right. Hey, medical school, sorry.
Okay, so at the University of Ghana Medical School, being a function of the main University of Ghana, we have 3 fundamental functions: teaching, research, and service. So in teaching at the medical school, we are involved in training undergraduate medical students. In service, we provide services for basic sciences, paraclinical, and then the clinical services. We have about 17 departments within the school. One is a center for clinical pharmacology and therapeutics. And then we conduct research in these various areas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have one house? All right. University of Cape Coast.
UCC.
University for UCC? Right.
So my name is Christian Leon Ayu. I'm the current Chief Justice for Biostag UCC from the Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology. So we are into molecular basis of living organisms. We do research and other things. I and my colleagues will look to be interns in companies like Workbig and Co. So if you have any internship opportunities, you can let us know. We are willing to come.
Smart guy. University for Development Studies.
UDS. UDS. Is there any rep? Okay, no rep.
Okay. Accra Technical University. It's here.
I'm Dr. Richard Barnes, Senior Lecturer, Biomedical Engineering. What we're involved in is training students in the design, repair, maintenance of biomedical equipment. So we're doing well at that and we're producing good people. Thank you.
Right. KNUST. Yes. Is there any other person from KNUST? I think this guy has spoken a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
So basically, I'm a biomedical engineering student, level 200. And from this expo, I was basically supposed to do a CNG project, which consists of engineering in society. So this project, with this seminar or healthcare over here, it will help me to undertake my project and face my defenses in school next year.
Right. Hampton University. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Prince Senanubeju. When I saw the Medical Expo on Instagram, I decided to give it a try, and I'm not going to lie, I don't regret it. But I don't think I need to really introduce Presec, though. So, I'm basically done.
Everybody knows Presec.
All right, and then
Wendy, are you shocked? Are you surprised?
it's okay.
This is pure marketing.
Yes, because
Nelly will tell you.
Well, then to the ultimate of the ultimate, Academic City University. Can I get a yay?
So for Academic City University, I think we're here at Academic City University. It's a fairly new school, 7 years old. We got chartered just last year. One of the fastest to get chartered in Ghana. It's known for STEM. We are more of a technical school, but we also have a strong business and also arts programs. For Academic City University, the part I would like to talk about would be the Technology and Entrepreneurship Center. We have it. It's over at the end. I'm sure you've all gone there to see. The reason I want to talk about that is because it's a facility for innovation for the students and also for outsiders. We have equipments, we have mentorship in there, and we see ourselves there as almost like a hub for innovators like yourselves to come in with your ideas and we can help you grow it. That's just a small part of Academic City University that I just wanted to talk to you about. But I mean, Academic City University has a lot more going on. We just started a master's program in cybersecurity, data science. We're doing an MBA. It's important to add all of these things because you can't do the engineering without the business. You can't do the business without the arts. You need the teamwork, like he said, work in teams, collaborate with each other. And so Academic City provides all of that. I don't know if I left some things out, but that's it. But so moving on, I think yesterday someone asked me from Valley View, was it Valley View, who asked me if there was a society of, what was it, medical, biomed students amongst all the various universities. Do you all talk to each other? And I think they wanted, was that what you wanted to know? They wanted to know, and this is the kinds of things we want to start moving on so that you all, you don't be in your silo in your school working by yourself, but, interacting with each other. And someone said, yes, you do, but they don't know about it. I don't know if the Academic City students know about it. So it's important that before you leave here today, try and connect with each other, the students, biomed students, try and form your society or your club so that you can interact. And that's just for the students. For the other entrepreneurs, I think there are various groups. You could all connect with each other.
Academic City,
and try and
yay!
work together as a team. We can't move this alone. We need everybody. We've taken notes today of everything everyone has said, and we will ensure that we share that information with everyone. And wherever you see, whatever you see on that list, if there are areas that you find synergies, areas of partnerships, we encourage that, okay? We're really short of time today. Unless, did we miss any organization? Did we miss any organization? Is there anything someone would like to add? Sure.
This is a very short meeting here towards the end of the 3 days, but it's really important. The challenges being faced are formidable. One institution, one person is not going to be successful in moving forward. You never have to work on your own. There's always people around that you can find to partner with. When Dr. Yaporo decided that we had to go beyond a partnership of Northeastern, 4GBI, and Academic City, he said we had to form a consortium of institutions, like-minded institutions that want to make an impact. And that's one of the things I've been so impressed with here at Academic City. This is an institution that wants every individual, every student, every faculty to make an impact. And that's what we're talking about here today. That's what we're talking about in the last few minutes. Think about the people who can work with you. Don't start competing with one another. You find somebody interested in doing things together, doing things that are similar to yours, do them together. There's a lot of opportunity out there, but there's a great challenge, and you're going to take advantage of that opportunity best by bringing teams together. So I wish you all the very best of luck in that. Dr. Yaporo, I want to congratulate you on realizing that we had to work to a consortium. Find out about the consortium.
So next on the agenda is presentation of awards. Were we aware we are going to present awards? So who is expecting to receive an award? Everyone is expecting to receive an award. Right, okay. So to help us present the Top 3 Outstanding Projects Award. Top 3. I'd like to invite on stage Dr. Jablate. I hope I'm getting the name right. To help us present these awards. Top 3. Who made it to top 3? With a round of applause, Dr. Doblete. Obiniyem. So I was told in no particular order. So it means the top 3 were picked in no particular order. Is that what it means? Okay. In no particular order. Making it to top 3, Medical Innovation Expo 2025. Obiniyem. I can see people are taking pictures and videos. Let me come out so you see me well. Obiniyem. Making it to top 3, we have attachment detachment tool for cylinder mounted flow meters. With a round of applause.
Congratulations. I have a message for you.
Okay.
God has sent me to you.
You want to say something?
I have a message.
Please make it very quick and snap it for me.
Hello. All right. Thank you very much. My name is John from All Nation. Though I've received this as a certificate, but I want to dedicate it back to all the biomedical engineers coming up. That as a matter of fact, we have a long way to go, and I'm really happy seeing us coming with all the inventions. And a great thanks to our supervisor, Dr. Mercy, and then the HOD for biomedical engineering, all nations. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Hey, DJ. Okay, next in top 3. Next in top 3, we have dual-sided LED neonatal phototherapy device. With a round of applause. And you don't want to take that one. Should I collect it?
Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that God is greater than that. Who can battle with the Lord?
All right. On behalf of them, they say thank you. And I like to say the best for the last. But they said it's in no particular order. But we okay. Rehabilitation commode wheelchair. With a round of applause, those are my students, please. My students. Momba Monsem. With a round of applause, my students.
Congratulations, see what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations, God is good. Them say that I can
Great.
never
Thank you
be
very
yours.
much.
I
And congratulations to all of
seen
you.
that. God is greater than that. Who can battle with the Lord?